So when I post, okay. Do you guys want a playlist?
Sure, that'd be awesome.
Off my phone?
Yeah.
How do you, what does she use though? Is that a,
Do you want to text it to Sonia?
Yeah, I can do, or I can just put it in the second. Let me forward it to you, Sarah, and you can forward it. And then I will put it in the comments when we post, and we should be good. All right, so welcome everybody. We are going to do a little bit more of a restorative practice today. So we're gonna hold stretches a little bit longer. It's not gonna be a true like sleepy, relaxed restorative class. It's gonna be more of a yin yoga class, which means that we're gonna be holding stretches for a little bit longer than we normally would. So we can get started seated on our mats. If you have a block or two, that would be helpful. And Sarah, you're able to hear me okay, right? All right, I'm gonna pin myself to the top, sorry, so that when we record, it shows me. There we go. All right, so come to a comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders down your back. We're not gonna spend a lot of time seated today in our meditation because this is only a 30-minute class, but I just want you to take a moment, take 3 deep breaths, really settling into your practice. So deep, slow breaths. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And then let's start to circle the upper body. So circle the upper body forward, to the left, around to the back, and to the right, back to center. Let's take it to the right. So inhaling on the way back, exhaling on the way back forward. Keep going, 3 more rounds. Last one in each direction. Good, then come back through center. If you have a block underneath your seat, go ahead and take it out. I want you to inhale and sweep the arms up. And then exhale, take a forward fold and reach your arms out long. So my palms are down on the mat and I'm just gonna sway side to side, starting to open up my hips and my low back. Good. Now come back through seated, inhale. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands or your arms down to goalpost. And then I want you to lift the chest, lift the chin. So thinking about a slight back bend here, opening the chest. And then reach the arms up behind you. And then you're gonna take a twist towards the right. So nice tall spine. Come back through center, inhale. Exhale again, goalpost arms, lift the chest, lift the chin. Good. Reach the arms up. And then twist over to the left. Good. Come back through center and come all the way onto all fours. So hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the seat, lift the heart. Exhale, press the floor away, dome the spine, let the head go. And then again, inhale through cow pose. Exhale through cat. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Then inhale back through a neutral spine. Let's take our right leg behind us, all 5 toes down on the mat. And then you're gonna start to guide your heel down towards the mat, stretching the back of the calf. So if you press down with your hands and with the palms, press the top half of the mat forward, you can get deeper into this stretch. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Then bring your shoulders back over your wrists and bring that right knee back underneath the hip. We'll take the other side. Left leg goes behind, all 5 toes down. Start to guide the heel down towards the floor of the mat, and then create a little bit more tension by gripping the mat, pressing the mat forward and away to deepen the stretch in your calf. Good. Come back through center. And then tuck both toes. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. So hopefully you have done a little bit of a practice or something before to get yourself warm before taking this class. But if not, let's take it nice and slow. So spread the fingers. Make your arms strong, biceps hugging in towards your ears, and have a nice long spine. I want you to bend the knees deeply. So nice, soft bend in your knees. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're gonna bend or straighten the right leg, bend the left knee a little bit more. Then inhale, switch. So bend the right knee, start to straighten the left leg. You're just walking your dog, slowly opening up the calves again, the backs of the legs, the low back. Just lifting one heel at a time as you breathe. Then come to a neutral down dog. Float out to a high plank and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, tops of the feet down on the mat. You're gonna just inhale, slightly lift the chest for baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. 2 more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Think about opening the chest. Exhale, lower. And then tuck the toes. Use the knees. Press yourself back this time to child's pose. So open up the knees, set the seat back to the heel, and rest your forehead down on the mat. So in this child's pose, I want you to think about hips heavy, so as heavy as can be, and then resting the forehead down, but we're gonna make our arms active. So our arms are really long as you can reach on the mat. You're gonna spread your fingers. You're gonna press down into the mat with the hands and pull back. So you should feel opening in the side body. Then walk both hands over to the right side of your mat. Take the left hand on top of the right. Press down and pull back towards the left. Come back through center with both hands. Walk them over to the left. Take the right hand on top of the left. Press down, pull back towards the right. Good. Then come right back through center. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, pausing for 3 full breaths. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more time, inhale and exhale. Then inhale, take the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot up by the right thumb. Lower the back knee. So sit up in your low lunge here. I've got my back toe tucked and my front foot is pressing down. My inner thighs are hugged together nice and tight. Then take your hip bones, so grab your hip bones with your fingers, lift those hip bones up and pull the ribs down to meet so you've got your core engaged. You're really pressing the left hip forward and dialing the right hip back. Let's reach the arms up towards the ceiling. I want you to interlace all 8 fingers and have or 10 fingers and have the pointers extend, okay? So inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, sway over towards the right. So you should be swaying towards the side where your front leg is, where your front leg is. So you're feeling a lot of stretch in the outer left hip, the front of the hip, the side body. Hold here for 4 more breaths. So you really have to continue hugging the thighs together to keep your balance and to feel that deep stretch in that left hip flexor. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. Come up through center. Release the hands down. Frame your front foot and step back to down dog. Take an inhale, float out to the high plank just to connect breath to movement again. Exhale, down dog. One more time, inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step that left foot up by the left thumb. Lower the back knee. So we'll take that same low lunge stretch on the other side. Again, lift the hip creases. Rib cage pulling down to meet. Core is engaged. Arms are up, fingers are interlaced, pointers are extended. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take a sway up and over towards the left, towards that front leg. So you're hugging your biceps towards your ears. You're pressing your right hip forward and you're pressing down with that front foot and pulling back. Take 3 more full breaths. Good. Come back through center. Hands go down. Press yourself back to down dog. And then bend the knees deeply. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. And we'll take a heavy forward fold here. So I want you to really let the belly rest on the thighs. Let the head go. Shake it yes, shake it no. You can grab opposite elbows behind your knees and hug yourself in even tighter. Let the weight go into the balls of the feet. We're here for 3 breaths. So with every exhale, I want you to try to lift the hips a little bit higher. Good, and then release the bind if you took it with your hands. And we're gonna inhale, lift the back to a flat back, take your gaze forward. Exhale, forward bend. And then inhale, rise all the way to the top of the mat. Let your arms extend overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, hands down, step back to down dog. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, the right leg high. Exhale, step the right foot to the outside, this time of the right thumb. Lower the back knee. So if you have blocks, it might be helpful here. If you don't, no big deal. So I'm gonna keep my right knee hugged in towards my right tricep. And I'm gonna send my left hip forward and create a nice long spine with my gaze forward. If you have really flexible hips, you can come down onto a block or the floor with your forearms. Otherwise, you can stay lifted just like I am. Pausing here for about 4 breaths. So these slower classes can be hard to keep the running to-do list from our minds. So this is a good time to practice your mindfulness. So just noticing when those thoughts start to come into your mind, letting them go and returning the attention to the breath and to what's going on in your body. So the more we practice that, the more we practice catching our thinking patterns, returning to what's happening here and now, the more we start to do that off the mat, all right, release the block if you have it. And you're gonna walk this right foot all the way over to the left edge of the mat. Lower your shin down, and then start to lengthen that left leg behind you, coming into pigeon pose. So you're gonna start nice and tall in your pigeon toe pose. And I want you to think of those same concepts in your low lunge. So squeezing the inner thighs, pull that right hip back, send the left hip forward, squaring off your hips. And then if you would like to come lower in your pigeon, you can get down lower, maybe on a block, or again, if you're nice and flexible, you can come all the way down to the floor. We're here for 4 or 5 breaths. So think about those deep breaths, inhaling for about a count of 5 or 6, exhaling for that same count of 5 or 6. Take 3 more breaths. Good, and then press yourself up. You're gonna sit over onto the right hip, and you're gonna swing your left foot around. So your front shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Your top shin is gonna go directly on top of it. So I've got my right foot right on top of my left foot right on top of my right thigh. both shins parallel to the top of the mat. And this is a really intense hip stretch. So one thing that might help if you have a lot of space between your knee and your foot is you can place a little block there, make it a little bit more less intense if you have really tight hips like me. If you're a little bit looser in this area, you can start to walk your upper body forward, intensifying the stretch a little bit more. You want to make sure the left foot is flexed. Hold here for 4 breaths. So one of the reasons in old school yin yoga classes, if you guys are familiar with that, they used to hold stretches for like 2 minutes or more. Some classes still do that, but since we're all athletes, you guys are working out with Sarah, I work out on my own, we don't want to hold stretches for too long because we want to continue, like we're stretching right now to balance the tightness that we create from working out. But we don't want to hold stretches for so long that we take away some of the strength that we've built. So we want to keep the balance between the two. So holding stretches for about 30 seconds or 5 or 6 breaths is really good for what our purposes are. Good, and then sit up nice and tall. Remove the block if you used it. And then swing both legs around and we'll meet back again in downward facing dog. So if it feels good here, you can go back to walking your dog a little bit, just kind of loosening up, maybe taking each hip side to side. It's pretty intense on the left side there. And then we'll move into the other side. So inhale, take the left leg high. And exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Lower the back knee. So lizard pose on the left side here. You're sending your hips forward. You're keeping that left knee hugged into the left tricep. And keeping a nice long spine. You can use a block. You can come down to your forearms. So the stretch focus here is in the front of that right thigh. If you're having trouble really focusing your mind and focusing on the breath, just count your breaths. So say inhaling 1, exhaling 1, inhaling 2, exhaling 2. Last one, inhaling 3, exhaling 3. Good, shift your hips back. Start to walk that left foot over to the right side of your mat. Lower the shin down. Lengthen the leg behind you. And again, squeeze the inner thighs or pull the left hip back, dial the right hip forward to square off your hips. And then you can settle down into your pigeon pose. Take one more full breath here. And then shift the hips over to the left. Swing your right leg around. And we'll set up that hip stretch on the other side. So the left shin is down on the ground and it's parallel to the top of the mat. The right shin is going to go directly on top of it. You're going to flex the right foot. So you'll notice this side is a little bit looser than my other. So I actually don't need the block in between my foot and my knee there. So you might notice that you have 2 different feelings on each side as well. And then you can walk it forward if you did before. and settle into this deep stretch. So this one can be a little bit uncomfortable if you notice yourself wanting to kind of shift or fidget or anything. Try to tell yourself that you're okay and stay in the stillness. So we breathe through it, just like we breathe through different emotions, different things that happen throughout our day. We breathe through it and we notice, okay, we're okay. And this is just temporary. It's not going to be here forever. Everything is constantly changing. So I can breathe through this difficult sensation. Take one more breath here. Then walk yourself back, swing your legs around, and press back up to downward facing dog. So take a few breaths in your dog. We're going to come to seated after this. So this is your final dog of the practice. So maybe just walk it out again, sending one hip and then another to the side. And then bend the knees, look up at the hands, walk your feet in, and have a seat. I'm going to take butterfly pose next for the inner thighs. So bring both feet together. Pull those heels close to your seat, as close as you can. You can grab hold of your ankles. You can use your elbows to assist by pressing the knees down towards the floor. And then I want you to think about, rather than tucking the chin and rounding the spine, I want you to think about reaching the chest forward. So elbows are pressing the knees down, my chest is reaching forward, and I have a nice long spine. So if you're really flexible, you're just reaching the chest forward, and even with a long spine, you can reach your chest further towards the floor. So you don't have to really dome the spine and let go of that core in order to deepen the stretch. You just reach the chest forward instead and keep that long spine. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Good, then sit up nice and tall. You're gonna take your left leg in and your right leg out. So I want you to flex the right foot, keep it active. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Reach around, and I want you to grab the outside of this right foot. So you can bend your right knee as much as you need to do that. Your chest is reaching forward. Your left ribs are spinning down towards your right thigh. And you're going to take a breath in here with a nice long spine. On your breath out, you're going to tuck your chin, bring your forehead down towards your knee. So imagine or think about reaching the right heel forward and pulling the right hip back in opposition, and that's going to get you the deepest stretch. Next in breath, reach the fingertips forward and rise all the way up. Hands down. And you're going to take this right leg and you're going to bend it, and you're going to bring the left leg kind of in front parallel to parallel to the mat. The right leg is behind. You're going to take your left arm, you're going to reach it up, and then you're going to stretch up and over towards the right. So this is mermaid pose, and we're stretching the outside of the left side body here. And then I want you to think about taking this right rib, spinning it up towards the ceiling. So we're opening up, we're stretching up and over. Good, and then come right back through center. We'll take single head to knee on the other side. So I want you to pull your right foot in, twist your torso towards the left foot, flex the left foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, reach forward, grab the outside of the foot, bend the knee as much as you need to. Lengthen the spine to start, reach the chest forward, and then bring the forehead down to the knee. Then inhale, reach the fingertips forward, and exhale, rise up. We'll take mermaid on the other side, so bend that left leg back. Reach the right arm up, sway up and over towards the left, spinning the left rib cage up towards the ceiling to open the chest. Rise through center, release that hand down. Come back to a seated position. So we stretch the entire body. Take your hands, interlace them behind your low back. Reach the fist down towards the floor. Lift the chest, lift the chin. Pause here. Relax the shoulders down. Then release for a second. I want you to interlace the hands the weird way, so your other thumb should be on top. Take that same stretch, reaching the fist down, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling, slightly lifting the chin. And we're going to close practice just like we started. So release the bind with the arms. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, forward bend. I want you to notice the difference. So sway side to side here. Notice the space you created, how much better this hip movement feels going side to side. Since you took the time to slow down and really stretch your body. Rise up. Let's get the other leg in front before we close. So crisscross the opposite way. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, upper body down. Again, sway side to side. Good, and then come all the way up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. We'll close practice with one final breath together. So exhale all the air out of your lungs. Say, and then big breath in. Exhale, let it go. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Namaste.